Hi and welcome to Raw Business TV. My name is Bradley, as you guys know by now. Really special interview today. I'm joined by the big fella himself. This is James, can I get your surname right? Ohene-Djan.
Yes, James Ohene-Djan.
Ohene-Djan. Fantastic. That's not too bad, is it? Pleasure. James from Winkball. So very, very interesting interview today. Winkball is a really interesting concept which James is going to tell you about. But we're going to run like an entrepreneur interview today, find out a little bit about James, your background, and how you come to get this fantastic company up and running. Find out a little bit more about Winkball, what the guys are doing, and where Winkball's looking to go, where you're looking to take it for the future. And actually, just before we start, as always, I tend to introduce Raw Business. As most of you know by now, we're an online networking organisation. We help get businesses connected. We run and publish a business magazine called Raw Business, which is a leading UK business magazine based on inspiration and motivation and helping businesses move towards success. We also run face-to-face networking events, and I speak at varying seminars and give motivational talks. This is Raw Business TV, which is part of the online network, and we also offer business coaching and inspiration and motivation and loads of other different bits and pieces within the website. So today, a great interview. Very cold this morning on the way up to London. The trains, as usual, playing up. So it's my great pleasure to introduce James to you. I'm just going to read you some information about James, and we're on a small screen today, so hopefully you guys will be reading that. But just to run through, James is a senior lecturer in business, computer and social networking at Goldsmiths, University of London. He received a BA in business studies, systems analysis and design with an IT MSc in the early 1990s. He then took a PhD in computer science. I feel really undereducated right now because my education comes from the School of Hard Knocks. On top of being MD of Winkball and a lecturer at Goldsmiths, James is also a computer consultant and website designer for companies as diverse as Ogilvy, Mathers and Lloyds of London. And James also carried out research into technologies to aid the deaf community. Really, okay, that's quite interesting. So Winkball, rather than me read through a second screen, why don't you give us an introduction, tell us a little bit about Winkball and what the company actually does, James?
Right, well, the idea behind Winkball is very simple. We kind of believe that the main way that people love to communicate is visually, and in particular online using video. So rather than like the first generation of sort of video sites, things like YouTube and Skype, where people were just sort of communicating by watching video, here at Winkball what we're interested in doing is capturing people's passion on video. So that's what we do. We've taken video to the next stage by being able to capture people's passion at events, at social events, sporting events, and put those on video.
Fantastic. I mean, funny enough, a few weeks ago I was at Madame Tussauds with my kids. So I come out on Saturday, and first time I've been at Madame Tussauds, only 6 and 5, you know. And as I come outside Madame Tussauds, I was approached by some of your guys. And the kids were playing up, they wanted to get inside. I said, yeah, sure, you know, I'm up for it. And at the time, this was prior to me finding out about an opportunity to interview you. So the guys were really polite. Tell me a little bit about the guys on the street, because I was all branded up in a Winkball outfit. Have I got this right? Are some of these guys volunteers?
No, all of the people that we have working at Winkball, all of our Winkball reporters, they're all trained. They go through a special course, and that course allows them to learn how to interact with the public, how to use new media film, and then they're all paid. We believe at Winkball it's very important that people are paid so that they do good work and they do work really well. So we pay all our reporters sort of double the minimum wage. So it's about £14 an hour. They do 4-hour shifts and they cover events up and down the country. But the great thing is, you then get really good reporters, people that you can use for private functions, people can hire them for white label jobs. It means that you've got a real strong team. So we at Winkball, we're a real believer in training people so that not only can they do a good job for Winkball, but do a good job for other companies as well.
Fantastic. So give me an idea of a typical day. If the guys are they going out in teams, I mean, how do you deal with the sort of the geographic locations? Where do you send people? Is it based around events and what's going on, or are you picking your strategic locations?
That's a really good question, and one question which you know, more and more people are starting to ask, how does it work? Well, what we try to do at Winkball itself is we want to capture the nation's passion. right? We believe the British public and the public around the world have got something to say. So we like to go to all the different events that are taking place. So we cover pretty much all the football matches. But Winkball's always been a bottom-up thing. So we're very much interested in the little man as well as the big man. So we'll make sure we get down to Barnet and Orient as well as going to Arsenal and Chelsea. We'll make sure we cover them all, you know. And then of course we go to social events. We like to give old people a chance to have their say online, you know, elderly people. So we go to lots of elderly events and we have a lot of fun. You know, we have a lot of fun with it. So we pick events all around the country, and what we do is the team of reporters who have all been trained, they come in their uniforms, and we're kind of a big believer in uniforms.
It's good branding, right?
Yeah, it's great branding, but you know, we're kind of a little bit British obsessed as well. You know, our competition is all from San Francisco, so we think we need to fly the flag a little bit, and we think that a good uniform and a good blazer is definitely very British. So we're not shying away from that. So we've got them in blazers, got them tidy, got them polite, and got them out there speaking to the British public. It's good fun.
What equipment are you using?
Well, what we use at the moment are small handheld cameras, and then we've built some specialist software to read off these cameras. So what they do, which is quite clever, is every time you click a button and turn it on and off, you get a separate file.
Right. Okay.
So that means that if we cover, say we go to do an event for a company, and they say we want 50 Vox Pops at this art gallery opening, we can click the button on, record a Vox Pop, unload the button, on, off. And then when we get back and we dock it, we've built special compression software so that we can immediately build a video wall of all the people at that event. And that can happen really quickly. So we use small handheld cameras. There are lots of different ones on the market. As you can imagine, we bought a lot of them. It nearly killed us. But it's been a lot of fun.
Has it been like trial and error to try and find the right bit of kit, or was you lucky from the start?
Do you know what? The kit that we've used for the last year has been perfect. The first ones we got were perfect. One of the things we think is really important with video is turning it into a commodity. And by that I mean you want it to be low cost and well defined, right? Something that we can retail or use over and over again. So turn video into something that's low cost, well defined, something that can be treated as a commodity. People can buy it as a commodity and use it as a commodity. And the cameras we use, although they're very simple, they're web cameras, they're not complicated, and therefore we can deliver a commodity. You know, if we had specialist cameras and lovely screens and we had special lights and all the rest, we can't deliver that for everyone. Do you know what I mean? And therefore you can't deliver it as a commodity. So it's a very important part of our model when we sell things like customer interviewing, market research, or Vox popping, that we can say 50 Vox pops cost X. And we're not going to cause you a drama. This is what it's going to cost.
What is a Vox pop? Is
Well,
that one view or one?
Yeah, that might be, for example, if someone said, we want to know what people think of Crossrail. So can you go out and ask 50 people around Tottenham Court Road, where we're digging it all up to create a new Crossrail, what they think of Crossrail. And we'll go around and we'll do 50 short interviews. And that's what, in the trade, they refer to as a Vox pop.
So are you becoming, I mean, Winkball, it's a very personal kind of YouTube, but now commercialising, you can go out and do surveys for companies.
Yeah, absolutely. One of our major business strands is to be able to do Vox Pops, interviews and market research for other companies. Right. Lots and lots of companies are always looking for information and feedback.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that information and feedback, they're normally paying through the nose for it. So what we're trying to do is commodify that so that they can get it cheaply. So for example, when we go to the Notting Hill Carnival last year, we spoke to 20,000 people in 2 days.
That's fantastic.
Right? So
how many people did you have on the ground to achieve that?
We had about 100 people on the ground.
That's fantastic.
All blazered up.
That's
it was
fantastic.
a great achievement. And one of the really nice things, of course, is all of the video was immediately put up online and it's there forevermore. Yeah, so, you know, that's the kind of thing we can do. And so this year when we went to South Africa, we went for the World Cup. We set up Winkball South Africa, 30 people, and we spoke to 40,000 people in 3 weeks.
That's astonishing.
Right? We went to 6 different cities, Pretoria, Elizabeth, down to Durban, Johannesburg, Cape Town, etc. Rustenburg for the England games.
That's unreal.
And
Absolutely unreal.
you know, and spoke to 40,000 people. But you can only really do that if you've got your systems right, if you've got your processes right.
And that's where your background comes in.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is what we've been trying to do. We've been running, as you know, just over a year now, and the main part of it is really getting those systems right, treating people well. I think that's really important.
Yeah, of course.
And one of the things as well we've been doing is we had a couple of beliefs. One was, we're not important, the person who's speaking is important. So our people aren't journalists. Yeah, they don't journalists. They don't ask antagonistic questions. They're not interested in that. They're interested in you.
Yeah.
Why do you love going to Madame Tussauds? Well, Madame Tussauds is part of our history. That's why we go, right? We know when we're going to go in the door.
But you know what? It's not changed much since I was a kid.
We know we're going to get, don't we? We know what we're going to get. And in fact, we're all going to be disappointed if Michael Jackson's waxwork ain't there. Do you know what I mean? We know what we're going to get. But the reality is, it's part of what London's about, right? And so if we've got visitors or we've got children, we want to go Madame Tussauds. And it's very important what you think of that, not what our questions are. You know, do you think Madame Tussauds is too expensive? We don't care about whether Madame Tussauds is too expensive. We care about, why do you love Madame Tussauds? So that's why we communicate happiness, right? Because what we're interested in doing is allowing people to show their passion for stuff, right? Whether that's their business, and we film businesses and we go out and we listen to people and they can tell us about their business, and we create a video for them and they can stick it on their site and we stick it on Winkball, and there's someone being passionate about their business. It's great. You know, or somebody's passionate about their garden, we'll stick that on Winkball. You know, it's all about capturing
Are there any
people's
limitations to what you would record and limitations to what you want to capture on Winkball?
To be honest, not really. You know, I mean, the main thing is it's about people. And it's about their passion, and it's about people expressing themselves and communicating and being happy. You know, what we don't want Winkball to ever become really is a dump for people to, you know, to be offensive, or a place where there are cats falling out of trees. Now, if you want to watch that kind of stuff, there are websites where cats fall out of trees all day long, you know, babies walk into walls and all that kind of stuff. We didn't really want that. What we want
So
are people...
aerial.
Yeah, exactly. What we want are people communicating. That's the important part.
So they're communicating with a recorded video.
Yeah.
So from the other side of the coin, for people coming on
Sure.
to the Winkball site, obviously with lots of YouTubes and other video sites, you can go and you can search for a particular subject or topic and it will bring you up under the relevant tags, etc. So can you do the same thing on Winkball?
That's a
Is
good
it a
question.
place to search and a place to find something to make you smile or to
Yeah,
make you laugh, or
absolutely.
information and feedback? Say for example, you're going on holiday and TripAdvisor, there's some sites that's called TripAdvisor, and normally TripAdvisor all you ever find is people moaning and groaning about flies in the food, and is Winkball somewhere you can go and you can find some information about holidays or
that's exactly where we want to take it. That's exactly where we want to take it. We want to take it so that people can sort of tell you about their, you know, their business, tell you about their restaurant, tell you about their hotel, that kind of thing, you know. But really from the people that know it best, the people that run those hotels, the people that work in those hotels. So that's where we're at with it, very much like that, you know. The other thing, I guess, what we're trying to do with Winkball is also allow people to start to create communities, okay? And one of the things we're going to launch later in the year, this is a bit of a first for you, right? We haven't really told many people yet, is we're launching something called Winkball Channels. And a Winkball channel is a place where a business or an individual can charge a micropayment for being part of a community.
Okay.
So you can imagine this community is a community where you can watch specialist videos, communicate with the people that run the community, communicate with other people in the community using video, and you pay a small micropayment. So for example, we're creating one of our communities is for gardeners, and lots of people love gardening, lots of people love showing off their gardens, and so for a small micropayment you can become part of the garden video community on Winkball. So what happens is we go off to Gardeners World, an event, we speak to 100 people, we tell them about the channel. If they want to be involved, they want to enjoy themselves, then they join the channel, and for a small micro payment, they're part of Gardener's World Online.
The channel's live now, or is that something that's...
The channels are coming in. They're going to be a thing that we're going to be launching May, July, from May, June, July time. And so you got an exclusive on that. And that's why we go out to so many different events. You know, we go out to so many different events because later on we're going to create channels for people to allow them to, one, make money themselves, but also be part of stuff. So let's just say you've got a small entrepreneurial businessman, kind of guy that's most probably going to be interested in raw business. So they're interested, and one of the things that they want to do is they want to give people advice about their music. So they've got a music company, little music company, want to give advice about the bands on their thing. So at the moment, how can they make money online? Well, they struggle, it's difficult. Downloads are expensive, of course you've got to do them through Apple, that's going to cost you a few quid. It's a tricky business. But they could set up a channel themselves on Winkball. They don't even have to speak to us. It's a bit like eBay. They just set up their channel and then they can put all their bands through it. And they can say to the fans of their bands, join the channel and pay a micro payment to get exclusive info on their band.
So the viewers will pay?
Yeah, so the viewers pay just a small micro payment to be part of it. So it's just like in the old days when you used to have fan clubs for like the Osmonds, if you're as old as me, or you know, or Michael Jackson used to have fan clubs, and you pay a little bit and you get some exclusive content.
Yeah.
My big sister is a big Cliff Richard fan, right? To the extreme levels, right? So she gets Christmas cards from Cliff Richard and all that. And she pays a little bit of money to be part of the Cliff Richard fan club. And if you can imagine, we're going to do that with video online. And that's going to be a great way for other businessmen and entrepreneurs to use video to make money online, which is great. Because at the moment, that's the kind of thing everyone's looking to do.
Absolutely, it's fascinating. I mean, we're sitting in a boardroom at the moment. And there's a glass window. Actually, you've been hello. That'll be the phone. We're sitting in the boardroom, and you've got drawings on this window. I'm gonna have to turn that phone off. That's always fantastic. That is. We're sitting in the boardroom. You've got drawings on the window. So what's been going on with on the windows?
Well, at the moment, the stuff that's on the window is us discussing the early designs for the new user interface for Winkball. So we're giving Winkball a facelift, right? We're giving Winkball a facelift. Part of what Winkball allows you to do as well is send and receive video messages. Right? So if you want to send your auntie in Australia a video message showing off your new son or daughter, you can record it on Winkball and send it for free across to Australia. And so that part of the app we wanted to refresh and revive.
Is that a closed video? So is that
that's a personal send, absolutely.
It doesn't appear on the site. No. It's a service functionality.
That's right.
Record a video from webcam. Anyone anywhere in the world can then
absolutely
see that you're full shoot.
That's right. So you can, for example,
video email.
Yeah, absolutely. It's video email, but it's centralised. So rather than you having to record it locally and then upload it to some email server, which most of us have email servers that only allow you to have about 10 megabytes of data. This is all recorded directly onto a central server. So when you send it off to lots of people, it's instantaneous.
Is there a cost to do that?
No, it's completely free.
Okay,
it's completely free.
So what do they need to do to get into the system?
Just register. If you go straight onto the site. It's a big button, register. Click on it. Just put in a few of your details, and away you go. Really, and you can create your own video blogs. You can create your own video walls, and you can send your own messages.
That's quite exciting. So it's bringing the world closer together. So tell me a little bit about the office. Just before the phone went off there, I was looking out of these glass windows and I can see all these people. So tell me what these guys are doing in the company, James.
Right. Well, what happened is, to begin with, we started off by looking at different processes. So we had a reporter desk which managed, recruited and worked with our reporters, okay? And we use a special piece of software that we've had developed to allow our reporters to book themselves in for jobs.
Right, okay.
So say I'm Tommy and I'm down in Tooting and I've been trained up as a Winkball reporter. On a Monday morning I can log into the Winkball system and say I want to do the Arsenal match, I want to do Tower of London, and I want to do the Conservative Party conference. And you can choose them. And then that whole process is managed by our reporter desk. And then we have a technical team at the back there. And the technical team is led by a guy called Alex Potsidis. He's a genius. He's one of those kind of guys that you always go, all right, because he's obviously right. And he's a genius. But there's about 10 of them down there. And along with them is a design team. And the design team's led by a guy called Buzzer, who we've been working together with for many years. And what we do down there...
Just going about the sort of Goldsmiths.
Alex was one of my students at Goldsmiths.
Okay.
And he was one of the few students that you give him whatever mark he wanted. You know, when you had those... You know, it's very funny. I've taught... For many years I've taught. And for many years I've always had certain rules. Don't give a student too many marks, he won't work hard anymore. But Alex is one of those ones that is an exception to the rule. So yes, I've known Alex a long time and he's been great. And then what we've also got then are what we call our sort of planning team. And they plan events, campaigns and functions for us. So for example, this year we did a campaign we're really proud of, which was to collect a million messages of support for the British troops, both here and abroad. Yeah. And we were very proud of that. And the idea behind that was really simple, was to go out and give people that never normally had a chance to say thank you and Merry Christmas to our ladies and gents that work in the armed forces here and across the world. And that whole campaign was organised by our campaign team over there. And then we have some special people that do uploading of video.
Can I just ask you, did you do a million?
No, what we got to about 500,000.
That's a lot.
Which was unbelievable, but we're not finished.
That's a lot.
That's the point. The point is we're going to go back in again. The first year, when we first started Winkball, that was the first campaign we ever did to collect the Christmas messages for the troops. Last year we added to it. We got to about 500,000, which is fantastic. And Christmas coming, we'll add to it. We'll most probably get to the 1 million because we'll be big enough and people will know us. But
that's a lot. That's a lot of vids. I mean, half a million vids. That's
half a million winks. Yeah, it was amazing. And the thing was, we had people like the Prime Minister sent us a wink. You know, Nick Clegg sent us a wink. But then we had Frank Lampard sent us a wink. You know, Ashley Cole sent us a wink. Roy Hodgson sent us a wink. Pixie Lott sent us a wink. John French sent us a wink. So, you know, it really was amazing. Fiona Bruce sent us a wink. You know, it was amazing, really, the kinds of people from all quarters that just wanted to say thank you. We went down to Southall and we had hundreds of Asian shopkeepers leave goodwill messages for our troops. It was amazing. You know, we were in Manchester Town Centre on a Saturday afternoon, loads of great goodwill messages. You know, that's the thing, you know, often with Winkball, what you get is a view of life that you would think from traditional media just don't exist. You know,
we're sort of taking things back to, I'm sort of getting the feeling of sitting there in the 1977 Jubilee in the street and having, you know, eating food with neighbours again. It sounds like it's actually starting to
That's right, and that's very important, you know. I mean, when we went to South Africa, I mean, I'd never been to South Africa before, and I was brought up with a telly, and I thought that I'd go to South Africa and it would be all chaos, and they'd be trying to nick me bag out of my car, and all that stuff that I'd heard, right? We went over for the World Cup. They were the nicest people you've ever met in your life. You know, we met people because they got all different races over there. So they got the Cape Coloureds, they got the white people from South Africa, the black people from South Africa. Got a massive Asian community, and they all are so proud to be South African. It's amazing, you know, and that idea
that unity.
And that idea that it's amazing, but it's a sense of unity, but also a sense of we're all South African. That's it. That's the deal, yeah? You know, and it's fantastic to see. And people got on with each other. The football bound so many people together. Of course, it was amazing. And so what we got when we created this video wall of 40,000 video messages, right, was a true picture of what South Africa looked like. Not
not commercialised.
Not a commercialised version. There wasn't just loads of kids playing around with no shoes. You know, it wasn't like that. you know, I mean, Cape Town's an amazing city, some lovely people, and yeah, it was great, you know, it was absolutely so much fun, you know, and the community feeling was so good that when we came back here, we showed it to the embassy, South African embassy. They loved it. Their High Commissioner showed it at the South African Business Club, and we gave them as a present 2 big terabyte drives of 40,000 videos. And we said, do what you like with it, because there's your legacy.
Yeah, sure.
And you know, and when all the other media companies packed up and left, you know, we stayed. So we've got a team now of 30 people down in South Africa that work for Winkball all the time. Yeah. So if you go on the site, you click on South Africa, they'll tell you about the Kaiser Chiefs game last night. It's amazing. You know, so yeah, so there's, you know, there's the Kaiser Chiefs game yesterday, or the cricket and all that stuff. Yeah, so we cover South Africa. But it's all part of our model, because ultimately we believe that Winkball can work anywhere. It's a franchisable model. And therefore, using South Africa as our first sort of franchise and our way of growing it is a really good test case as well. But it's amazing, you know, they wear the blazers. You know what though? I think they're better behaved. Yeah, they're unbelievable. They work so hard, you know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And there's a guy down there called Marlon who worked in England for a couple of years before he went back, and he's their manager down there, and he's brilliant. So we've got people in Joburg, Cape Town and Durban, and they work for Winkball, yeah.
Do you know what? I'm sitting here, I think this is the first interview I've done where I've hardly had to say anything. This man's like a passion Uzi. It's like an Uzi machine gun that's going passion, 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 passion. You obviously love what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's obviously a very inspiring and motivational place to work. So where did the idea come from? I mean, just going back before you started, how did you think to yourself, right, video site? I mean, where did the idea come? You know, where did you get a big moment?
Well, there's a couple of things that happened. One was I used to do a lot of work with the deaf community, okay, and most of the people in the deaf community who are profoundly deaf use sign language as their first language, okay, and most of the technologies out there for video to sign were built for hearing people, not for people that sign. So for example, if you sign, one of the things you want to do is record the sign and send it to your mate. So at some other point in time, he can look at your sign message and send it back. Real-time signing is quite tricky, right?
Why is it quite tricky?
It's quite tricky because of the delay. You see, the broadband delay.
Of course, yeah.
And also the fact that you often end up looking at yourself on screen, which you'd never normally do with sign. You can't see yourself signing. You can only see the other person. So one of the early things we made was a special push-to-talk system for live communication. Right. And it was a bit like an old CB radio. Do you remember the CB radio?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get a CB radio. Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. And when you're talking, no one else can talk.
Of course.
And then when somebody else is on the airways, no one else can talk, right? And we did that with video as an early system, live system. So when you're signing, I can see your sign and everyone else can see your sign, but no one else can sign. And then when I'm signing, everyone can see me. So it's just like CB video. So we made that system, and we made a system for video messaging.
Fantastic.
So once we did that, it suddenly became obvious that video was a very important part of the way that people can communicate. So we built a system, we built Winkball, and then what happened was there was an evening where we said, well, how are we going to publicise this? How are we going to publicise this? How's it going to go? How's it going to work? How's anyone going to know about it? And I went out with a friend of mine, and we went to see this gig, and I hadn't been out for ages because I'm getting on now. And we were standing outside the gig. We were standing outside the gig, and there was all these young people, and they were all taking photos of each other and sticking them, posting them up onto their Facebook sites. And I said, you know what, that band were great. I said, wouldn't it be great if we could interview these people about that band and stick it up on a... And we said, that's what you do. So the next day we come back, we said, we know how to get the name Winkball out there, no problem. What we do is we go out and we interview people and we ask them about things they love, at things they love. And that's the difference. If you've got a guy and he's sitting at his webcam at home in his bedroom, he's in one state.
Yeah,
but he ain't passionate.
Yeah,
right?
of course, yeah.
But if he's just walked out and West Ham have won 3-1 at Liverpool,
yeah, you're gonna capture something.
you got it then, right? You got it then, right? And that's the thing, you see, if you've got someone at Christmas and they've just bought the wife a present and they're walking out of Westfield, and at that point you say, do you want to send a message to our boys back home who might not be able to be here? That's a different message.
Yeah,
do you know? That's a different message. You know,
different emotion.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
and that's what makes Winkball special. Is that emotion. You know, we went down to Crawley. You know, in the early rounds when Crawley was going through the cup, and you see these kids that live in Crawley. You know, and they were so proud of their team.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and that's the stuff we get. You know, other people are interested in millions and millions of views of, you know, as I was saying before, cats falling out of trees and all that great stuff. But what we're interested in,
people,
is people. That's it.
Do you remember the first ever video that ever went up? Is there one? I can remember my first member. You know, that ever joined the company, but because there's always one that.
Well, what happened with us was after that evening, we said, okay, we're going to try and do this, right? So we'll try and get a little team together and stuff. So we started looking for some cameras, bought some cameras for what we're going to do. And about a month later, about 3 weeks later, was Notting Hill Carnival. And we thought, okay, what are we going to do with it? Yeah, we thought, you know, and we were down in Ladbroke Grove then, and you know, 10 men in a tin hut. That was it. That was what the office was like, you know.
Well, that's where everybody starts. That's where everyone starts their
right.
business, isn't it?
10 men in a tin hut.
That's where everybody starts.
That's right. And we thought, let's do the carnival. So we just gathered up all our friends. We gathered up all our friends, right? Got loads of them together, and we ended up with about 15, 20 people. Gave them the cameras and said, go out and shoot. And what we got were like, it was funny. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't have a plan. You see? Yeah. So you end up with
you could have got a better place because not their car. That's just buzzing,
everyone was happy. Everyone was happy.
It's a proper gig to go to.
So that year, I think we must have spoken to, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people. Yeah, with the 15, 20 people, and then 12 months later, 20,000 people in 2 days.
It's awesome, isn't it?
So that was, it was, you know, in our way, it was like a way of demarking our year, you know, and where we've been. And now, it's amazing, we had a look the other day, over 2 million people have appeared on Winkball.
That's fantastic.
Now, the strange thing is, no other website in the world has had that many people appear. Most websites have things appear.
Of course they do, yeah.
Yeah,
or
bits
events.
of videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they don't have people. We've had over 2 million people appear.
And what about countries? How's your country breakdown? Are you starting to get?
Yeah, well, we've got a team out in South Africa. We've got a team out in India, which is mad. It's a lot of fun as well. I advise anyone, have a look at the Indian stuff on Winkball. It's very great. It's down at sort of Delhi and Bangalore. We've got a guy down there there's another guy that used to work here. And they're now covering cricket. So if you're interested in the cricket in particular, go on Winkball, you'll love the cricket coverage, it's fantastic. Do you know, these are people that have never been asked a question in their lives about to go on the internet, and they're going, yeah, India's going to win everything.
I bet they're stumped first of all, the fact that the cameras there, aren't they?
That's right. But India's...
they get into it and they start getting into it.
Well, India's a really highly technical society. They're really into technology and really into computers. But what it is that it's normally held at a certain level in the society. And your average everyday geezer that goes along to the cricket doesn't know. So we've got India, South Africa. We've got a team in New York. And we work in association with an outfit in New York, a brilliant British business called Tea and Sympathy. Right, fantastic business. Very famous in New York, down in Greenwich Village. And Tea and Sympathy is a shop, right? And it's a shop that sells everything British. So you can get your HB sauce there, you can get your baked beans and all that kind of stuff. And so we work with them, and the people at Tea and Sympathy, they run a team of about 20 reporters for us across Manhattan and the outskirts of New York as well. And we cover events across New York. We also did the Super Bowl, so we did Empire State Building and things opening in Madison Square, that kind of Madison Gardens. It's good. So we've got people in the States, in India, Africa, and then in Europe. So that's the spread. And
where's it going to go? Because you said there's no limits to your country, there's no limits to where you go. So, I mean, now that you've come this far and the products developed, the business is developing, and you guys are becoming more and more commercially aware of what you've got, what's going to happen in 2 years? What's Winkball going to be in 2 years?
What I'm really hoping is that lots and lots of other businesses get involved in Winkball. Because what I want are lots and lots of businesses to open their own Winkball channels, bring their own people, make their own money, and all be part of that growing Winkball family. So really, where it ends up, it's rather like a child. You can tell them to go to school, you can tell them to do their own work, but how they turn out is, you never know, really. So that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that other businesses in the next few months will get involved, and build their own channels on Winkball, and start using the micropayment system to actually do business on Winkball, which would be great. The other two things that we're trying to do, of course, next year's the Olympics. Very important for Britain.
Big year.
It's most probably going to be a big year for us, big year for Britain. Really big year, most probably the biggest in our lifetime. So one of the things Winkball's doing is we're creating a load of video channels of all the Olympic sports.
Right, okay.
And by that, we're not concentrating on the athletics and the track and field only. We're interested in the shooting, we're interested in the wrestling, we're interested in the women's boxing, we're interested in the men's boxing, we're interested in the Paralympics. So we've been creating channels, and we've started all that work already, which has been great fun, looking at all the minority sports. When I was a kid, there was a guy called Desmond Douglas, I think his name was.
Douglas, I remember that, though.
He used to have a right big afro, right? Yeah. And he was a great table tennis player. Yeah. And you'd watch him about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on BBC Two, giving it all out against the Chinese, and he'd be the only one, And I used to love table tennis because of that, And you go down a youth centre, and everyone would be playing table tennis. Holding it the way the Chinese guys held the bat and all that. And that's the thing, see, minority sports, people love them, right? They absolutely love them. And so that's what we want to create. Is once again, it's a bottom-up thing with Winkball, because it's about people. And there are lots of people that love archery, for example, love archery. But there's very little online about archery. If you go on YouTube and you put archery in, what do you reckon you're going to get? You're going to get some geezer shooting at something you shouldn't be shooting at, right? That's the deal. But what we want are all the young kids that are playing archery in England today. We want all the training schools for archery in England and across Europe. We're going to interview those people, the Paralympic archery players, and we're going to put them all on video. And what we're hoping is we'll create some archery channels, and people will come and they'll enjoy themselves. So our plan for the Olympics is to cover all the events, but cover them from a people's perspective. Video, we want to cover, believe it or not, we want to record more video on the Olympics than anyone else in the world. And we did it with the football, and we believe we can do it with the Olympics.
It sounds like an amazing task. I'm just going to flip this slide forward, just so I can just bring back up the details again. For James, and I'm going to go on to some contact details as well now while we're talking. It's not my final thoughts yet, but I just want to give you guys some contact details. Info@winkball.com and www.winkball.com. Contact details. So telephone number 0208 962 3030. And I guess the shout today has got to be go to Winkball, create your wink, and deliver your passion via the website. I just want to ask James another couple of questions about adversity. You are clearly very passionate about what you do. You love your product, and it oozes. In fact, you love it so much. I've never spoke so less during an interview. Normally, it's me that can't keep quiet. So I'm really inspired by your passion. Was there a challenge or any adversity barriers that you faced in trying to bring the product to market? We all go through some kind of adversity. What was yours?
There's been a lot of challenges. First of all, people said you can't do it.
Which is the greatest.
Right? They said you can't do it. They said people hate cameras.
Yeah.
I said that can't be true. They goes, no, people hate cameras. Look at people, they hate cameras.
They run away.
There are millions of cameras. People love cameras. But what people forgot is people love to give their opinion.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter whether you bought a new lawnmower, you bought a new album, or bought a new car. Someone says, tell me about your lawnmower. You go, I'll tell you what, special lawnmower is. Do you know, the last lawnmower I had was a flying mower, and it did that. But this, put petrol in this, fantastic. Does it? Do you see what I mean? People love talking about stuff, even if it's their lawnmower. And so that was the first thing people said.
So you just about to go on to talk about it, you're loving it.
Yeah. So that was the first thing. People went, it won't work, you know, and I remember it was very funny.
How did that motivate you? Because obviously you're the sort of guy, you seem the sort of guy to me that, you know, that's not going to work, it doesn't cut with you.
It's always a belief in people, I think. You know, another thing we did here, and we were very proud of this, was most of these people here never worked in a technology company at all. A lot of them were students, a lot of them had just left university, and we wanted to give them a chance, right? And people went, you're mad. You got to have a load of people here with MBAs and all the rest of it. And we went, no, you don't. You got to have a load of people that are into the job, that can understand and are willing to learn.
Absolutely.
Be part of a team.
Absolutely.
So when it goes wrong, you've got people who've got your back. And when it goes well, everyone knows it was a team effort. It's very important. And that's been another part of what we've done, you know. We've had to not listen to the experts in some respects, you know, because in our industry, in the, you know, the internet industry, there's a lot of people that are experts, right?
Everyone's an expert.
Oh, there's a lot of experts, you know, and a lot of people are coming here and said, do you know what you need to do? You need to sell people's data. And we went, no, we don't sell people's data. If someone gives us an opinion about their football match or their sports event or their charity event, that's theirs. It's not ours.
Yeah.
It's not, no, we're not going to do that. It's theirs. They want to take it down, they can take it down. They want to share it, it's theirs. You know, so a lot of stuff like that, you know, a lot of the philosophical stuff about working with people was the stuff that was challenging. One, people wouldn't like to be videoed. Two, you've got to try and exploit them and take them for whatever you can. And we went, no, we're not. You don't have to do that. You know. Three, you've got to go out and get a load of expert people to. You don't really need that either. We didn't find, you know. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe in the long run, you know, we'll be sitting here in a year and a half's time, there'll be ashes everywhere, right? Me and you will be having a cup of coffee.
I can't see that.
How did that happen? You know,
I can't see that because these kind of products and these kind of ideas, they start out with one respect, and then they, you know, the opportunities it's going to open up to in a year's time is going to be, you know, there's going to be such a myriad of opportunities to take the business forward.
We did some things, right, just to sort of to give you a real insight of one of the things we did really early on. Was we stuck a Made in Britain Union Jack on our website.
Yeah, I like that.
And people went, you know, can't do that.
Why
not?
Why not?
Like, when I was a kid, Marks and Spencer's always had a Union Jack.
That's right.
My brother worked at Marks and Spencer's, right?
We're going back, but it was St Michael's then, wasn't it?
That's right. My brother worked at Marks and Spencer's, and he'd bring home stuff on a Saturday in the evening. He always had. I said, why not? And I said, the reason we're going to do this is because it will give us a heart. This is what we're about.
Absolutely.
We're a British technology company, right? We're trying to do things a quintessentially British way, merging academic rigour from Goldsmiths, you know, one of the best creative institutions in the world. Should be proud of that, Goldsmiths in South East London. Mixing that with commercial inventiveness, the inventiveness of Correspondent Corp and our chairman, you know, and mixing those two things together to produce something quintessentially British. And so we're going to stick the Union Jack. But the thing is, so many people love it.
Do you know, this is one of the, I can't understand this. You go to America and people are so proud to fly the American flag. They're so patriotic. So patriotism, you know, I think in the UK we've got a queen. You know,
very much so.
Absolutely, fly the flag. Yeah, fly the flag.
And it's very important, technology-wise, that you do that. Otherwise, you can be seen as a pretender.
Absolutely.
And a lot of technology companies, I think, have some good ideas, but they then get worried and just try and pretend to be somebody else. Sometimes you can go online and find bits of software that even look like other bits of software. They're that desperate to be somebody else. And what we said is we're desperate to be ourselves. So no one else does yellow and blue like we do yellow and blue.
It's a nice. I'll tell you, it's bright. It stands out. You certainly caught me at Madame Tussauds. I've got a chat function coming up there. We got loving the music side of Winkball. Who's this? Cheeky. I hope that's an iPhone. Jan, what's been the most exciting moment of the Winkball journey from Jan? What's been the most exciting moment of the Winkball journey? Is that one of your girlies there?
Yeah.
What's been the most exciting moment?
I think the most exciting moment, without a doubt, was standing there in Rustenburg, right, at 10 o'clock at night. It was dark. Before the England game, right, the first game, it was dark. And Rustenburg's a bit like going to somewhere you don't want to go to, right? And there's loads of English people, and they've all just arrived in South Africa, so they're still thinking, where are we, right? And we've got these 10 reporters, and they're all ready to go, and we took a team photo, and I thought, wow, man, what are we really taking this part? And that was great. You know, England did play so well that night, and we drew, but it was a great evening. It was a great evening. So I think that's got to be one of the best bits of the journey, really, you know. And the other great thing was getting a video message from the Prime Minister.
That's got to be awesome.
Yeah, we came in one morning and someone said, "You won't believe this." I said, "You won't."
That's just awesome.
Have a look at the account. We had a look. And
That's
there's a video
brilliant.
message from the Prime Minister.
That's just brilliant.
And you thought, fantastic, you know. So, yeah, we were really proud of that as well.
No, you know, I mean, that's kind of like an endorsement, I mean, it's...
Yeah, it was nice, you know, and there's a certain level of trust about it, because what we want to do is we don't want to ridicule people. Absolutely. So we want people to feel comfortable on our site. And
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that was a nice one.
I'm just going to just run through Mudkips, what's this? I used to work for Winkball when I finished my journalism degree, and it gave me a massive opportunity to sharpen my reporting skills as well as earn some much needed cash, and it ultimately led to me working to the world's biggest music mag.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Interesting. You've obviously got some fans out there. Obviously, we're coming to the end of our interview now. We've been rattling on, or James has been rattling on. He loves his product, and rightly so. What a fantastic opportunity for people to communicate all over the world, not just with goodwill messages, but to talk about their experiences, love, life, and whatever else, you know, floats their boat. It's been a really, really great interview today. Meeting James, it's been really fantastic coming up to London offices, and we wish you guys every success. I'm just looking at your Winkball logo there. Communicate happiness. What a fantastic way to brighten up somebody's day. You know, I mean, you might have somebody's nan in Australia, and you might want to have your kids and just communicate. What a fantastic way to give somebody a message that just could turn their day around, just like that.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
I'm really pleased that you've taken the time to sit with me today. Yeah. My final thoughts: communication, I think, is the key to our future. And by communicating, it's just going to bring the world much closer together. And I think we all need to do more communication and different methods of communication, because if we stop communicating, I think that we're in trouble. And of course, I think I'm just thinking of something else actually. I think there's someone sending a video message on Winkball. Maybe there's a husband and wife and they're not getting on.
That's right.
You know? and he realises actually he really loves this woman, so he sends her this video email. You know, I really love you. I've sent you a wink or a private message, and he's communicating. I love you. You know, please let me back.
Well, you know, funny enough, last Valentine's Day we created a video wall. Yeah, if you go on, it's called www.winkballpassion.com. And there's an awful lot of guys doing just that, saying, "Listen, love," standing in the middle of the high street with their Chanel or whatever it is they bought her again. "I really love you." It's winkballpassion.com. It's definitely good for a laugh. Even though it's Valentine's Day's long gone, it's still worth watching.
No,
it's lovely stuff.
I'm gonna have a quick look at that. So once again, www.winkball.com. Perhaps some of the Raw business members can get involved and start sending some Winkball messages. I for sure will be doing my one when I get back. I mean, I have looked at the site, but I wanted to hold off on message until I met the big man myself, and now I can go back and I can spread the word about my Winkball experience today. Okay, so next time on Raw TV, actually I've got a shoot right from this side of London into Wardour Street to hook up with Lee McQueen down at PHA Media there. That's at 12 o'clock, and if I'm late, Lee will never forgive me. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on Raw TV today. It's very much thanks for myself, and thanks to the big man himself.
Thank you very much for coming along, and you're welcome anytime.
Thank you very much indeed, James. Great interview today. Obviously, my book's coming out in a couple of months. We've got some more stories to write about. It's titled Everyday People Achieve Extraordinary Things. That's it from us here at Winkball HQ. From everyone who's listening, get on to Winkball. Let's get some winks moving. Thanks so much indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Oh, it was great. It was really
That's
good.
what you do, man.
We're
I'll give
trying.
a mask on there.
Yeah.
How the... Let's just shut that off as well. How are you...